There's not enough time. Recording.
Thank you. I call the HEAC meeting to order. Diane, would you please take roll?
Okay.
Thank you.
Rebecca Anderson,
Present.
Heather Barth. Althea Barton. Here. Joe Grant.
Here.
Okay, can you state the reason why your physical attendance is not reasonably practical?
She's on mute.
No, I said here.
She's asked about the reason your physical attendance is not reasonably practical.
Oh,
Sorry.
I have meetings after this afternoon at school.
And who else is present in the location?
There's no one present. Well, except for a student who just walked in my office. Well, that's
Deborah, Diane Nolan here. James O'Rourke. Michelle Rohrabacher.
Present.
Marcus Duick. Senator Ruth Ward. Oh, Ruth,
She's on Zoom.
Does that do it? Okay.
See,
Can she hear me?
she has co-hosts.
Okay, Senator Ward.
I'm here. I am not with you because I broke my right shoulder yesterday and it's very painful to put it on the steering wheel. There's nobody in here with me.
Thank you. Representative Dry
Here.
and Representative Petterly. Here. Okay, that's right.
And Heather just.
Heather just-
oh,
you guys, sorry. Okay.
And from another meeting.
We have 5 voting members present, 1 in remote. Does that fulfill the requirements of quorum?
That is correct, right? It's six voting members.
Six.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll begin with the agenda that was on the windowsill as we came in. The first thing to address is appointments and resignations. Just a reminder from what Ally shared with us at our last meeting that there are vacancies on the HEAC and that the commissioner is open to receiving appointments. There is currently 1 vacancy for the home education organizations to submit nominations and 2 positions for at-large. Those are the 2 that are appointed by the commissioner. Especially important are those 2 at-large positions because those count against us as quorum. So if you are a member of the home ed community and are willing to represent 193A, we would love for you to come and join us here at the HEAC. You do not have to be formally nominated by an outside organization. You just have to be willing to serve in this capacity. So please reach out to the commissioner and she can get that process started. So would be very helpful as we move forward to be able to conduct our business. The next item on our agenda is a letter actually from me to the HEAC, and I would like to read that to you all before we move any further in the meeting. Fellow members of the HEAC, of late, our council has been divided on matters of function and decorum. It is my intention, as stated when I became chair, that we will operate in a manner that is consistent with the statutory requirements and within a structure that is approved by the Department of Education. In keeping with that commitment, I have included in the agenda addendum a copy of the presentation made to the HEAC in January 2023 by State Attorney Elizabeth Brown. And a slight correction, I have the copy from 2023, which I had shared with Ally earlier this week. And Attorney Brown responded with an updated copy, which is what we have here today in the meeting with us.
I'm sorry.
So is it
I don't
this?
mean to interrupt.
No, it's this. There's only 1 copy.
Okay,
of it.
okay.
It's a PowerPoint presentation. Yep, so it's here. Just wanted you to know it's here. I have a miniaturized version of the one that I had already on file. So In an effort to guide our discussions, that's why I wanted to include in the addendum, and we'll have to include it digitally for everybody after the meeting. To date, we have several months of minutes that have not been reviewed, and while this is not ideal, it's presently not our highest priority of business. A historical review of HEAC minutes prior to my appointment in December 2024 show meetings where things were voted on despite a lack of quorum, and several meeting minutes that are listed as approved but have documents marked draft. The difference now, however, is that the full meeting video is available to all on the DOE website and at the same time as the draft minutes, where members of the public can access the source discussions. We are conducting our business in full view, providing video that can be referenced and in compliance with 91A. I believe that the composition of the minutes over the last several months have made it increasingly difficult to review and approve, especially when coupled with members not taking time to review the video to confirm that the necessary items were accurately covered. This is not intended to be an instruction that all members would review the video, but it is incredibly easy to miss or forget what happened a month or two in the past. In light of these concerns, I'm providing additional documents from Attorney Brown that guide more specifically how minutes should be compiled, a manner that will keep the council in compliance with 91A and strike a balance of allowing us to better use our meetings to interact between organizations and discuss topics of concern from our member communities. As we have time, we will review and approve past meeting minutes, and I will remind members to make sure that they are prepared to review a certain month when the attendance request goes out. Going forward, members can expect to review at minimum the most recent meeting and the additionally notified meeting as meeting time allows. Over the last several meetings, there have been concerns raised about the advance notice of agenda. Members have questioned the ability to meet based on the timing of an agenda being released. I refer us again to the addendum and Attorney Brown's guidance documents. The HEAC is not under obligation to post an agenda prior to the meeting, and members are acquainted with the general composition of the council's business. While having an agenda ahead of time is sometimes helpful, not having an advance notice does not prevent the council from fulfilling its duties. I would be remiss if I didn't also address the concern that not all members respond to the chair's inquiry of attendance. It is difficult to know if we have obtained a quorum when members do not reply or wait until the few days before the meeting to do so. When the chair inquires for attendance, members are compelled to respond in keeping with their stated roles to serve on the HEAC. To ignore the inquiry entirely is disrespectful to the other members and an incredible disservice to the communities that you represent. It is my goal to serve as chair in a manner that is consistent with Robert's rules, while also balancing that with grace that I, and perhaps others, do not have formal training. While they serve as our format, grace, patience, and temperance should guide our conversations, such that strict enforcement of those rules are not required to maintain order and effective function as a council. Respectfully, Michelle Rohrbacher, Chair. The next item of business on our agenda is the nomination and voting of officers. This was not handled in order of our September meeting, and it should have been done, and we didn't have an active chair to have that organized. So at this time, we are in need of voting for nomination and voting for secretary and 3 members of the grievance council. I open the floor.
Does this happen yearly?
It does not say that it doesn't happen yearly.
Okay.
In looking at previous minutes, it looks like it is something that happens at the September meeting.
Oh.
So those that have served on the council before could offer in discussion to either verify or not that.
Prior to the September meeting. I had actually gotten a response from Dean, I think, about whether or not we would be electing a new chair, a new secretary, or addressing any of that. Do you recall that?
I do not recall.
The response was that it happens as needed, which was not the way that I had experienced it each year prior. It was every September, we voted chair and secretary.
Yeah.
And we did not do that in September.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything written that says when we do so. Like I said, in reviewing previous year's minutes, I saw a pattern that it happened at the September meeting.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Just
so
see if
the
we can
question
correct
would be, so as needed, we needed somebody in September, right? Wasn't that when Marcus resigned?
yeah.
So do you want
Anyway.
to formalize it? Is that what we're talking about? Like formalizing the idea? Because I think some of this is all historically. Often this happens in things where people are sort of the thing. And then other people come and there's not a lot of written stuff. I mean, we've been dealing with that. Right? So you notice that it happened, did happen in September. We voted it for the different roles. So you're asking, are you saying you'd like us to address that today? Or do we want to formalize that? Like make it part of the activities of this council that there'll be some type of voting in September. So it's written somewhere that people, when we're gone, they know.
That would be an excellent thing for us to do going forward.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm presenting
Is
in
that
the
these
agenda is
girls
that we need to
go.
correct
Right,
the secretary and
right.
grievance council not having been
Right.
presented.
Isn't there also a rules council or something like that? There's a second council.
That's the other thing I couldn't find.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did. I
no,
think I was on.
We did it at,
It was informal. I think the last document that I referenced stated that it was something that we could form a rules council, but not that we were prescribed to do so. Yes, Althea.
And
sorry.
as a general concept, I think Attorney Brown has advised us that it's good to have structure. But if we say we're going to do it vote every September, say, for example, then we have to comply with that in order to comply with our own internal rules. So then if we forget or it goes till October, that can complicate things. Just as I know we're not discussing that overall picture today, but something that pops into mind.
Good thing to consider as far as if we make a formal process going forward.
Right.
Thank you. But again, the floor is open for nominations for secretary and the 3 grievance council positions, which are what we need to have filled this time.
Who is currently on the grievance council?
I am, and I think there are 2 others, but they were appointed before me. Do I have the September of 2024 minutes? Because that's where it would be recorded. The beginning of this file. Sorry, I have a lot of minutes here. January, March, May. Draft September, is there September? Oh yeah, because we approved them in December, even though we weren't at the meeting. Let's see. Is it in here?
Oh, here you go.
Where is it?
There you go.
Let's see.
April. which-
Secretary was Diane, and then I'm still not seeing grievance council. Where is it? Maybe it wasn't done for the meeting. Maybe it was a previous meeting. Gives us to this draft. I don't have it. Does anybody here in the room know that they are appointed to the grievance council? I guess
I'm
that
not
would be.
sure, but I might have been.
You're going to be on every council.
I try to help out
Yeah,
wherever you
right.
guys need somebody, so I'm happy to be on, I'm happy to be on the council. We need 3 people, so I'm happy to be one of the people. If there is a grievance to be heard, I'm happy to sit with 2 other people to hear that.
And I know that I'm not.
You know that you're not, okay.
Okay.
Not
So-
interested or
Not
not
interested. I was gonna
Not
say.
on it, and I can't take it on right
I'm
now.
not
Okay.
interested.
Yeah, I would
Thank
not
you.
be interested.
Not interested, okay.
Okay, if there has to be a grievance council at all, I will
Yes.
be on.
There it has. to
Our
be.
statutory requirement is a grievance
There
council,
it is.
Hopefully there are never any grievances
Yeah,
right?
coming to us because
we'll be okay.
So the
Okay.
grievance council is,
So is it voted or is it voluntary? I don't know. That's what's also not recorded for us,
And I don't know, you could always vote on it, just.
just to be sure.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm willing to continue serving on it there was no activity or action brought to me in the past year, so.
In reviewing
Sure.
years of minutes, have you ever seen anything brought to a grievance council?
I went back into 2023 and I didn't see anything from that point forward. That's not to say that nothing has happened. I think there might have been a question in 2021 that rose to the grievance council, but I can't recall for sure.
So is there a motion to do this?
One moment, Katie,
I
question.
think I did speak with some veteran home educators, and I think that from their input on HEAC, the grievance council was very active in the earlier days of home education, but as
Before
the
2012, I think.
wrinkles got smoothed out over the years, it wasn't really necessary.
I think at
That's
the
what I
present,
heard.
it's a
Yeah.
formality to keep us in compliance
And I
with the
think they
statute.
said there were maybe, I don't quote me, because I don't know the exact number, but maybe like 5 grievances that they addressed.
I think I've been on this since
Over 30
21
years.
or something.
Yes.
Okay, so it might not have been 21 that.
Yeah, if we're ever
It might have been-
changing the law here, I would love to get rid of the grievance council altogether, just putting that out.
I'll make a note of that.
Yeah.
Okay,
It is one of it.
so Diane, do we put a motion on the table then for voting on the entire group of volunteers, Becky, Heather, and myself for the grievance council?
I don't know. Do we need to vote if there's? 3
Well,
people
Ally
who
just
volunteered?
suggested maybe we should just to be just to be covered.
Okay,
It'd
who would
be a
like
good
to make a
idea.
nomination or a motion?
How about one of you guys who,
Okay,
yeah,
so I make a motion, I nominate you and you to be on the grievance council.
Motions.
Yeah. Do we need a second?
And it probably shouldn't be one of the 3 of us.
I'll second.
Thank you, Jill.
Jill's in, all right. Motion.
I'm not on the grievance council, I just second it.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
oh,
I
yeah,
think you might have been listed on it in the past.
yeah.
Okay,
Can I interject at this point
Yeah.
that it is in rules, establishing a grievance
Yes.
committee is, so you
Yeah.
have to change the rules.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
not
Like
just,
now you
not just
can,
this.
that's part of your role,
Right.
is to
Yeah.
send rules recommendations.
I would want to know more about why
Well,
that would be in a
it's-
role before I would want to take it out, because if it's something, a
Yeah.
formality for now,
Right,
there may be a time
think
when
it's
that's important.
based on, I mean, this is a different conversation, I think it's based on when home educators could get their home education like pulled by the Department of Education by saying you didn't do it again, you didn't do it well
Oh, in
enough.
the 2 years
then that
below
would-
the 40 percentile requirements. And
Oh,
all
yeah.
that,
And then we would
maybe
be like hearing their case and deciding, which is
bizarre.
dumb.
Yeah.
But you never know how things will change, how
Right.
legislation will change or anything, so if it's, I mean, I'm saying this, it's easy for me to say this because I didn't volunteer to be on it, but if it exists and there's no work,
Mhm.
Better to be there.
right?
Mhm.
Okay, so we have a motion to vote on.
You understand?
So the
Yes,
motion
give me
that
that.
Diane is gonna record votes for is to
Okay.
approve the appointment of Rebecca Anderson, Heather Barker, and Michelle Rohrabacher as the grievance council.
Rebecca Anderson,
Yes,
Heather Barker,
Yes.
Althea Barton,
Yes.
Jill Graham.
Oh, you're muted.
Said yes.
She held up her
Yes.
finger. Okay. Diane Nolan, yes. Michelle Robarker,
Yes,
and that's awesome.
thank you. Okay, next in the appointments and nominations would be for secretary. Diane has been serving as secretary. I don't know, Diane, your experience in continuing to do so, if that would be your desire to be nominated again, or if you would rather not continue in the role as secretary.
The last time I was nominated by default because no one else wanted to do it.
Well, that's what we're asking. Do you want to do it again?
Do I want to do it?
Would you do it?
Excellent question. Now that it's actually a possibility, I would do it. I would do it.
Then I nominate Diane Nolan as secretary.
And I'll second it.
Are there any other nomination requests or others that would be willing to serve as secretary? All right,
So that was Heather seconded and Althea.
nominates,
Mhm.
and gonna take roll call on that. Rebecca Anderson,
Yes.
Heather Barker,
Yes.
Sophia Barton,
Yes.
Jill Grant,
Yes,
Nolan, yes. Michelle Barker,
Yes.
done.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, next on the agenda is a review of the agenda as the order and content of the agenda that is before us. If there are any discussions of urgency to move anything within the agenda, I open the floor for that.
Do we want to put a time limit on the review of past meeting minutes or have a goal of reviewing a certain number of them?
So the goal today is to review the November minutes.
Just November.
Just November,
Okay.
because the notice was not provided for members to be prepared to review the June minutes, which is the last or first oldest set of minutes. Yes.
I believe, I know you've mentioned Robert's rules a couple of times. Robert's rules says that the oldest comes first. You can't, I mean, I can pull it out and read it, but my full understanding is that you have to go in order. You have to go June, then September, then November, and knock it out in that direction.
Again, so in the discussion of minutes of continuing business was that the option exists to table minutes, and minutes can be tabled indefinitely, which would not prevent review of future meeting
Well,
minutes.
where does it say that?
That's in Robert's rules. Minutes can be tabled indefinitely.
I did not see that. Is there any way you can give me the section? To, I mean, I tried to.
Thank you.
I tried to write down all, and learn all the things about minutes.
Sure.
I want to make sure that we do it right if we're gonna do it at all.
Okay. Robert's Rule meeting minutes or official records focus on what was done, not what was said, documenting motion, votes, actions taken, not debates or opinions. To provide an objective summary, key things to include, type of meeting organization, all right. Previous minutes approval or corrections of prior motions, exact wording, who made the motion. Summaries, points of order, any points raised, hold on. Capture the wording approval or sent out often electronically for review and final approval at the next meeting. Let me just ask, like, I'm gonna be specific now.
It's a long section.
It's 41.
Can they be tabled indefinitely?
It might be addressed in tabling and not actually in minutes.
There you go. Here we go. There is no motion to table indefinitely. The term is likely a misnomer for one of two distinct motions. To lay on the table sets an item aside temporarily so the assembly can handle a more urgent matter. It can be taken up later at the same meeting or the next meeting. If not taken by the table at the end of the next regular meeting or within a quarterly interval, the motion effectively dies. Postpone indefinitely is used to express to kill a made motion. Application of meeting minutes primarily serve as a record of the actions taken. They are typically approved when necessary for the next meeting, often by unanimous consent. While you cannot table indefinitely the approval of minutes as a class of business, a specific amendment to the minutes or motion could be handled using the motions below. If the assembly is dealing with something more urgent, the approval of minutes can be set aside temporarily, laid on the table, and returned to later in the meeting. If an embarrassing or contentious motion is made regarding a correction in the minutes, that specific motion could be postponed indefinitely to avoid direct vote. I'm not sure. It's not clear.
What
So at the
section is
very
that?
least, it could be postponed to the end of the meeting to review older minutes. And
Okay,
that,
and what's the reason why we're not doing June 1st? I missed that part.
It's because it was not sent out in the email that
It
we were
was not.
doing June today.
as I read in my letter, no, it wasn't in the
your
notice for the
emails.
meeting.
Email.
No, the email that I sent last week to confirm attendance. You're looking at the one for December where a lot of people replied, I'll be there.
For January
January.
2nd.
Yeah, you sent
Today's
it out.
January 9th.
Yes, I
No, a
know.
week ago,
Yeah.
you sent out a
That sent it
message.
out. That
Yeah, I
said,
have
we're
a-
gonna do June, so review June.
That's what you
And-
told us to review the video.
And then September and November, we do done
Yeah.
in the
Okay.
future meeting.
We can review the June minutes, but we need to review the November minutes as well.
Yeah, they're all here.
So
do you wanna do them
we
all?
start June.
Okay, we can.
Okay,
Okay.
Yeah, so again, we're at the agenda review stage at the moment. We're not at
Oh,
the
okay.
minutes review.
all right.
So,
And you just asked, I think there's only 3 sets. I think we
Yeah.
can get these done without.
It should be easy.
Yeah.
It's a black and
Yeah,
white process.
let's go. Anything else on the agenda?
so is there any other question in the agenda review?
We didn't answer your question
About,
about how much time.
If we're
or
gonna
what- If we'd cut it at
cut off
time.
I don't think it's a bad idea, but I don't know, we could just decide to decide when to move on if we have to.
I think that there is concern about meeting minutes not being early in the agenda. And there is also concern about not preserving time at the end of the meeting for public comment.
Okay,
So, I guess,
But-
we will have to go with chair discretion as to if the meeting minutes are taking up too much time of the meeting in order to conduct the further business, or we can move the meeting minutes review till after all of the other business of the meeting, and then know that the 4 PM cutoff so that we can allow for public comment can be,
okay.
Why
handled.
don't we so worried? I don't ever remember the meeting minutes taking long to go
5
through.
minutes,
Yeah,
usually.
it's usually they're correct
But,
or.
yeah, so there were questions raised at
Oh,
the meeting. You weren't here, yes. and you were
Okay,
away.
because I've never seen this before.
Mhm.
Okay,
Althea, you got a question?
Mine is tangential, so you go first.
So I was reading about minutes, 48, section 9, chapter 48, section
Okay.
9. Specifically suggests that an organization that holds regular meetings at frequent intervals, such as blah, 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 blah. The minutes are normally read and approved at the beginning of the next regular meeting,
Yeah.
immediately after call to order and any opening ceremonies. And it goes on. That's just what we've
What we
always
used
done.
to
That's what the
do.
book
Yeah.
says. It's kind of, I think, what we're supposed to do. And it's really a simple process. It's not a debate of the conversations. It
Right.
is, did this happen or didn't this happen?
Yeah.
It's a document.
There were
with
typo
right to know
things, some very simple
responsibilities,
things.
and it either happened or it didn't.
Yeah.
So it's just simply, if you have an amendment to suggest, if there's discussion, if there's debate, it either goes or it doesn't go, and it should be simple.
Yes, Althea.
I just wanted to add that, I know that you've said that this meeting should end at 4:30 because you have another obligation. I believe, and I haven't reviewed Robert's rules, but in other committees I serve on, if the chair needs to leave at a certain time, the meeting can continue with an acting chair.
Oh, that's true.
4:30 is the end of the meeting. anyway.
I don't know.
We wouldn't have a quorum still at that point.
So that's a separate issue, but
Yeah.
just because it seems like you've had obligations a couple of times.
No, I
That-
haven't.
that-
This is the first time that
Okay,
Last
it's
month you said that.
interfered.
Okay, I just want to say this, though, if we're saying, we did this a lot. And it makes it really hard to be on this council if we're gonna run till 5:30 sometimes. So I'm
totally
very
get that.
comfortable ending on time, really.
Yep,
I don't.
I totally get that.
I don't wanna pick another person and stay for another hour or two, I don't.
No.
Yeah, Yeah.
I totally get that,
Yeah.
and I am not advocating for
Yeah.
that. I'm just saying that
we'll be done.
that a meeting can continue
Yeah.
for 10 or 15 minutes or whatever we needed to.
Yeah,
If
we've
there-
done that before.
If there's
If there's a
quorum of
quorum,
extent, if there's a
obviously,
quorum to
obviously,
extend it
yeah,
and a quorum exists after that.
It could literally
time.
just be to listen to public comment.
Right,
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, sounds great.
Okay,
Right, at this time though, we are going to stick to the 4 PM beginning public comment.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
That we can continue. So, with that is the tabled minutes that were from the last meeting. Which set of minutes are we looking at to start with? This is June.
yep. Yeah,
Right, we'll take,
We shouldn't need any time to read them. Everyone's had plenty of time
Yeah.
to read them.
right.
There were 2 amendments presented. Althea's was already presented, noted, but could not be put forward
Right.
because there was a second amendment that was disputed. And the final information on that, let's see, June minutes discussion was deferred. Okay. Pending amendment from Ms. Barton was reviewed on November 14th, but not motioned for submission. Pending review of June video to substantiate proposed amendment from Michelle Robacher of November 14th. Was expected at the December meeting. So did you get that timestamp and verify your statement?
No, I did not get a timestamp for you.
Okay, well, I happen to have viewed that video at least 4 times, and I have the transcript of the video, and I did not see any of the statement that you stated. So I would say make a motion for the June meeting minutes to be passed as is with Althea's amendment.
Can you please read aloud the statement that you are comparing?
There was no statement. You're, okay, I'll read your statement.
Thank you.
Their organization can't take a position on something.
Yep.
And I mean, I think she didn't, but somebody may speak.
Okay, can you read it? Okay.
Sorry, I was trying
Yeah,
to hear what,
Yeah,
She was
no, I
saying-
was just, I don't know where I'm looking here for
I know.
this.
in the November meeting,
No,
the
no.
statement that,
June.
June.
no. In November, you disputed the June minutes
Mhm.
and added
It's not in the November minutes.
amendment. In the November,
So can we just do June as it is? How are we gonna do this now? Because we're rolling forward to like, I didn't, okay, it's out of order. Okay.
that's.
So what's being disputed in here?
Uh,
Let's take these as they are,
In
correct?
Miss Swarbarker, I can quote it from the meeting of November.
Thank you.
So my request, this is Michelle speaking. My request is to add the statement, several members discussed the appropriateness of Miss Nolan reading those testimonies, and it was not appropriate. And that it was not appropriate, she corrected. Then. She amended that. That she said, okay, I personally recall that Miss Barker, myself, and Mr. Zuick all stated that it was inappropriate for those comments to be read. And then she mentioned that she would, I believe the contention that has been raised so far is only in the representation of the discussion regarding member testimonies for the non-germane amendment, and I would limit it to that review. But we're not adopting anything today. So don't change the request. Don't make any modification for Althea's request. I will send you the timestamp of the video that you might review it.
Right, so the review, you have the transcript of the June meeting, or you have
This
the
is the transcript of what you
That's
said in
November.
November.
Yep.
Yep. So your contention was that there was some statement made in June saying that I had read something inappropriate. There was no statement in the June meeting saying anything like that. I don't have to prove a negative. You have to prove the positive, and at this point, you don't have anything to substantiate your statement.
Okay. Then in this instance, I will, for future meeting minutes, I will refer you to the documents that were provided by Attorney Brown that state to not, necessarily use conversational means, which is also, in keeping with what, Heather just read from Robert's rules, that the minutes would record motions and actions and general discussions.
So don't quote anybody. In the
That it
minutes.
would not be narrative in nature. In reviewing previous minutes, they are not this narrative. And the caution is because it runs the risk of miscategorizing something or misrepresenting something, or at least the tone of the meeting.
Fair, very fair. I would like to just submit this for everyone's informational purposes. I did an analysis of the 10 times I've done the minutes and the different changes and suggestions for changes, just to clarify. For the record, there were some claims about how long they were, how short they were, whatnot. I've done them 10 times. The number of times they've been amended is 3, and of those times, there've been like 1 sentence amendments, and I just want to get that on the record.
Sure, that is actually not in reference to what I'm suggesting
I
about
understand
the
that.
nature of the minutes and how the nature of the minutes has changed over the course of time that I have served on this council. The first meeting minutes that I personally reviewed were not until December 2024 when I was first appointed. So,
That's reasonable.
yes, Althea.
I would like to just bring in the perspective of the prior secretary.
Okay.
I served as secretary for, it seems about 3 years, I think, if I can recall. My strategy as secretary was to put a fair amount of detail. I was thanked many, many times by members of the public, by members of the commission for the detail that I put into the minutes, because it helped people understand what happened at the meetings without having to review 2 or 2.5 hours of video. So I believe that there is value in having some detail. I've served on other committees where it's, 5 bullet points, just action items. That's a different way of doing it. It's also legitimate. But in my opinion, putting in some detail is often helpful. Also, I just wanted to mention that in Attorney Brown's PowerPoint, which I reviewed online, it says there is no requirement for verbatim transcription. That is her reference to the issue that you're pointing out here. So that's different from saying there should not be any mention of what people are saying. And so from a lawyer's point of view, that is the requirement. I don't believe that that's what Diane has been doing. So that's the perspective I bring.
I guess I'm missing something. So what is the actual concern here? These are,
Just that the level of detail within the minutes that we are to review at the meeting causes there to be a greater burden on the members to know nuance of conversation versus motions, actions, and votes.
these don't look very different than minutes we've had all along.
Yeah,
since
I
I've
looked
been on
at
the council.
several minutes and
Yeah,
there
Again,
were
this is the
very
wrong time for
short.
conversation.
yeah.
No, I understand that, and as chair, I'm definitely on top of the length of it and the importance of it. So the problem being is that in having, again, not that it is a verbatim transcript of the entire meeting, but that, yes, Althea, there was value in the past when there was not a meeting video available to the public.
I'm sorry,
And at
there
the
was a
time-
meeting video at that time too.
Not on the
Available
DOE
to the
website.
Okay.
So, it was something that was obtained through 91A. So this is now in the open. And at the same time, I don't recall what the previous technology of YouTube or the video was, but now there is the possibility to simply click a transcription button within YouTube and receive a full transcription, which Ms. Nolan has
So,
done for the November meeting.
so can I just ask a question? So is the concern here that I said such and such or so and so? This is like a public meeting. I'm fine with this. Like, this
Right,
seems
it's
to be
just
a
the-
waste of time.
It's just whether or not we can accurately review and know, she said, he said,
Well, I think it goes like
in
this.
discussion.
We have an obligation as the members. We were at the meeting. We've said I abstained. That's true because I hadn't been at the previous meeting. I was at this meeting. Every other meeting I've ever attended, it's our responsibility when we receive them and then come that we've reviewed them. And if there's something that we say, oh, by the way, on page 4, this is only 4 pages. It says Ms. Barker motioned, actually, I didn't, that was so-and-so, we made those corrections. I can look at the video, I don't have to. These are the minutes, these are required, right? So I'm comfortable with these and I don't really want to use any more of our time to be doing this. This, at some point, we just have to stop this.
Able to pass the June meeting minutes.
Guess, yeah.
Has there been a motion already?
I threw that out there.
Okay, and I just wanted to ask a
Formally?
question to make sure that
Yeah, formally.
to make sure that the revision that I had asked for prior is in the final version, final draft? Okay. So
I don't even know. what
if
that
there is a
was.
motion, so,
Right, so it needs to
so
be,
if there is a motion
Yeah,
to accept these minutes, with the addition that the change that I made in a prior meeting, then I second that motion.
in order for that motion to go forward, Heather does need to know what the revision is.
I just don't know what that was. I'm so
No,
sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you. I apologize.
Let's find it.
I didn't, Diane wrote. She did ask, it wasn't seconded, discussion ensued before second.
Althea Barton, she said, she wanted to put in on page 3, the 6th paragraph on that page. And this sometimes will throw out the wrong number. I hope it's six,
Yeah.
or the 6th.
Yeah,
That's correct.
Paragraph starts, each HEAC member.
yeah,
Okay, she wants to add in, that the New Hampshire Homeschool Coalition does
Yeah.
not take a stand on proposed legislation, but the organization informed its members about the proposed repeal.
And just to clarify, that is something that I said at the meeting. It's not something that I'm adding later.
right.
It's something that I said
Yes,
that was
that's fine.
an important point for our
Great.
organization.
Thank you.
Yes, so that's the amendment that would go through to amend the draft minutes to become approved minutes for. And Althea, you seconded?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Rebecca Anderson,
Sorry, the motion on the table is
To
to
accept the June
accept the
minutes
June
with the
minutes
amendment.
with the amendment. That has been,
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
yes,
Heather Barker,
yes.
Althea Barton,
Yes.
Joe Grant,
Yes.
and Nolan, yes. Michelle Roebucker.
No. Sorry, does the motion pass or fail?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes, 1, no. That's passed.
Thank you. Next is the September minutes.
The September meeting minutes, on September 26th. Michelle Roebucker emailed the HEAC committee with 3 amendments. Did anyone bring those with them? I believe she probably has it
I can go.
herself, but I definitely have them. I can just locate them. I know one of them pertains to a section on how the annual report was going to be submitted and processed. From Michelle to Marcus to the commissioner, etc. And that was one of them. Did you find it?
Oh, yep, I have the email.
Okay,
So I'm trying to see if
just down the bottom of that email.
yeah, I know, I have it. I'm trying to see where it matches paragraph in here. Where it is.
Is
It's
it
not there.
is it right here maybe,
In the-
this guy?
New business, no?
Annual report. Some front page.
Yeah. I don't know if it replaces the paragraph or if it is an addition to the paragraph.
So in the fourth to last paragraph, Ms. Snow's report was revised. The entire report with final edits was read aloud by Ms. Roebucker. A motion to adopt the report was motioned by Ms. Barker and seconded by Ms. Barton. I'm assuming that you wanted to tuck it in there to describe how the process was going to work.
Perhaps, but that just reminds me of the, omission of the motion to, pause the meeting and read your draft after it was distributed. That I recall Ms. Barker
It's on
moved.
here.
Is it there?
Ms. Barker motioned that the council take 5 minutes to read Ms. Nolan's report and consider what steps should be taken. It's at the
What paragraph are
longer,
you in?
the longer.
Yes.
paragraph.
With that last sentence.
Okay, after 5 minutes. Okay, yes, thank you. All right. Or all in favor.
Would you still like to put that first?
Let me see. We did discuss how the report would be submitted, so. Your report, so it's just missing entirely in the process that we discussed how it would be submitted. So I believe it goes after the paragraph where Ms. Nolan's report was revised and
Mhm.
before Ms. Barker departed.
Okay. So can
So
you read
again,
it?
like-
Yep. So I'll read it to you to insert in so that we can understand where I'm questioning or where I'm
Adding.
adding.
Yep.
So in between Ms. Nolan's report being revised paragraph and the paragraph before Ms. Barker departed.
Yeah.
You
Is
want
that
a new paragraph?
a new paragraph? Yes. The members present agreed that the next step for the report was to send it to me? No, who's the you?
You're talking to Marcus in the
Yes,
email.
to Marcus. Okay, thank you. For further dissemination to Commissioner Davis at NHED. Member discussion at the meeting was that I, Michelle, would send a draft to all members for technical review, as in spelling, punctuation, capitalization, but that the report as read during the meeting is approved by all members present in September and barring any errors. It would be forwarded by Marcus to the commissioner without additional formal approval. Motion was made and passed unanimously. I did not write down in my note who made the motion.
I have a
and
record of
passed.
that
Thank you.
somewhere. So
it's
you
there.
want,
Yeah,
you want to
that's-
describe the whole process?
Yes, and that's the technical edit that you can make to the minutes to just, to attribute the motion and, who seconded. I have that it was made and passed unanimously.
So you want me to go back to the worksheet, hopefully that I do still have,
Yes,
and verify and type in who, how the roll call went,
what she just
well, the
said.
roll call was that it was unanimous,
so that I don't have to.
but you do need to record who made the motion and who seconded the motion. Based on your, sheet that you took roll with. It's a requirement to have the minutes reflect all motions.
Yes. But it says roll call all in favor. Motion.
Right, but it doesn't have who made the, I don't have in my note who made
The
the motion.
motion to adopt the report was motioned by Ms. Barker, second by Ms. Martin, roll call all in favor. Doesn't cover that?
No, because that's not about how the report was going to be disseminated after that. That was a discussion that happened after
Oh,
that.
in other
Did
words,
that
you're
have
saying,
another motion?
That did have another motion. Because there was discussion of, but what do? We aren't going to edit a document together if there's a technical issue. And that's when I asked for approval to send the document to Marcus,
Yeah.
barring any technical edits.
correct. And that it would go on from there. Hey, can you just look at that worksheet from that day? Cause it'll tell us who did it.
Yeah, I'm reading the
Cause
transcript,
it's
so
not in
when
there.
it happens,
Yeah.
it would have the roll call right there
So
if we did it.
it's before 143, because that's my next point that I had a question at.
See, at 133, we take a vote.
Oh, she's reading that.
You've got the transcript, yeah.
Okay.
YouTube's handy that way.
You actually left around
I-
this time.
Yes,
so
it was
that-
before
that's
Heather
the
left.
Reason you
Right
can't remember.
before
Yeah.
405.
So, yeah,
Somewhere between
between-
133 and 145,
and, oh,
405,
yeah,
333.
333, yeah, and 405.
I'm having a really hard time understanding where we are in here. Michelle says, so does Marcus now type it up based on what just got read, or do I type it up and send it to Marcus? from our submit to the commissioner. And I think you say you can type it up.
Mhm.
You've got this, girl. This is all you.
That was you.
That's definitely-
Cheerleader in the group,
Needs to be in there.
Just circulate it to us, or we could make sure everything is okay the right way, absolutely, blah, 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 blah. And don't see a vote, there's no vote, there's no motion to talk about that. We talk about avoiding 91A by not commenting once that report comes back to us. It's up to the assembly, right? It's up to the council. like,
So
to
there's not a
approve the amendment.
recorded,
I see no vote that says anything with that.
I do think it's okay to add a paragraph about what we did next.
Sure, and
That's
just
fine.
drop,
I
like, then
don't-
I don't have to go through and
you
say it
can
was a
drop,
motion.
motion was made and passed
Yeah.
unanimously then.
Just take that out and put the rest of the paragraph there, because that did happen. Don't
Again,
worry
not
about the
as
motion, we're saying drop the motion.
I,
It's just,
I revised
just
my
add that little
request
bit of
to add
detail.
text
Alrighty,
and remove the
this is
motion.
irony. Okay.
Okay, so next.
can you read out loud what your
Yes,
suggested
I'm,
amendment was, the second one?
the second one I haven't presented yet. Are you ready for it? Okay, the next one was around 1 hour 43 minutes. Discussion began with members seeking guidance from NHED regarding the process for Commissioner Davis to set up new HEAC appointments to fill our empty seats. Ms. Landrigan advised that members and groups could forward nominations to the commissioner, but that she hasn't reviewed any as of yet. Member discussion regarding in-person conversations in July about having the legislature step in to enforce the appointments, and that as the commissioner is newly appointed, we might consider a friendly note from the chair, referring back to Marcus, that the commissioner, to the commissioner, requesting that she fill the vacant HEAC seats.
There was definitely discussion about the open HEAC seats.
Yeah, so let's just put it in.
Okay,
Great.
And that's after, Heather and Senator Ward departed?
I don't remember that. I really don't. I have a good memory.
Well, no, so the timestamp of that, video you have in your hand, Diane, sorry. What is the timestamp? Is it after Heather departed? Heather
Yeah, there's-
departed and you got this girl.
the last previous timestamp was 139. It doesn't timestamp every single thing.
No, I know, but is it after the text of Heather saying you got this girl?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
that's right.
Okay,
yeah.
so it's after Heather.
I
departed.
laughed.
So, okay, so it's before
I
the
feel better now,
previous
'cause I don't
minutes.
remember this.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh, you want it added and in the minutes, on
Mhm.
the amended minutes.
Yeah.
After
Yes.
Senator Ward departed.
Yes,
Yeah.
Your second amendment per the September 16th, 2016.
thank you,
Yep.
Yep.
Okay,
So second.
that's amendment 2.
thank you. And then let me double check the third minute. Vision,
Oh, this one's about
this is about you.
best practices.
Yep.
Somewhere around,
Oh, it's the new
New
business.
business is about.
yeah, it's in new business, yeah.
Oh, but it didn't happen in new business because it was before Ms. Barker departed.
No,
That
it
it
didn't,
occurred.
it happened in new business. In new business, you say, does anyone have new business? And I say, I have new business, if no one else does.
About the best practices, that's when you introduced it?
Yeah, I said I want, and then you interrupted and said you want to leave time for public comment.
Okay.
And I said, my new business is kind of old business. I know that we needed an updated best practices, so I went ahead and went through the meetings and looked at what we did, what we approved, and I drafted a revision to the best practices. If you want to do this today, or if you want to put it on the agenda for next month.
So what's the amendment?
So let me now compare the paragraph that it is described in the meeting minutes as written. Diane circulated a document with best practices that she would like to see adopted. After she could present, okay. I'm just changing, confirm. There were no, yeah, best practices on file, correct. That is correct. your distribution of copy is after the discussion of no HEAC best practices on file. That must be when you distributed it in the conversation. And so it does not reflect that there is not currently an official adopted edition of HEAC best practices.
State that again.
There is not currently an adopted HEAC best practices.
Well, it's
Okay,
stated
but
here,
it says that.
stating there are no HEAC best
Mhm.
practices on file, none have been distributed to the current council. It's there.
Distributed a copy
Yeah.
of each of the two documents in members' attendance. So maybe that edit was.
It got
Maybe.
somehow brought in there, yeah, put in there.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, no, I never amended these
yeah.
after that
Yeah,
email,
it's
to
there.
be clear.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it was covered and I was, I did not push for adoption and I did not like the
Yeah, so
language that I had pushed. for
Is there
adoption,
anything
so.
else? Anybody else that wants to make any amendments?
So the September minutes.
So I'm gonna make a.
Oh,
motion.
I had one
Oh,
thing.
no.
No, there was something I had found, this is what I brought up to you earlier. Ally apprised me of the fact that 91A changed slightly and my full name has to be on it. I can't just sign it DN, so that has to say Diane Nolan.
Okay.
And anyone who does secretarial should know
Mhm.
that you have to
Okay,
have your full name on the document,
great.
okay?
Yep.
And,
So you're going to amend that.
so that is an amendment I would like to see.
Okay.
Definitely.
So with those three amendments, I'm proposing that we adopt the September minutes with the three amendments, the paragraph between Miss Nolan's report and before Ms. Barker departed. The one after before Mrs. Barker departed and the previous minute discussion. And at the very end where it says minutes Diane will put her whole name there, Diane Nolan.
I second.
Excellent. Rebecca Anderson,
Yes,
Heather Barker.
Yes.
Althea Barton.
Yes.
Jill Grant,
Yes.
Diane Nolan, yes. Michelle Roebucker.
Yes.
All set.
Okay. November. I can help you out, unfortunately.
Yes, no one here. Okay. I think on the second page, in regards to the annual report discussion,
Which are that?
the second paragraph, in stating that no HEAC member needs to be present at the state board meeting, but can be requested through the commissioner's office. There was discussion where I requested Ally to give the process for that to happen, and she did forward that to me. And I did make contact with the commissioner's office after that discussion. So that was something that we did here in the meeting and was followed through after the meeting.
So we can't add that to the minutes of the meeting because it happened after the meeting. It's not part of the meeting.
No, the discussion of asking Ally to provide me the information, she did say that she would provide me the information, forward it to me to be able to present the annual report to
it says
the
that
commissioner.
information related to forwarding will be provided to the chair from NHED. That's the first
Oh, yeah.
sentence.
Wasn't a
Okay,
motion.
so can we make a motion to pass the November minutes?
Yes. I make a motion.
Are there any further edits? Sorry, Althea.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, I was going to second the
oh,
motion.
okay, sounds good.
And I have to abstain.
All right,
Who motioned? Althea?
Actually, you have to abstain, right?
I'm gonna abstain.
Okay,
Yeah, I
so
wasn't-
I move to accept these minutes,
I'll second.
November.
Okay. Rebecca Anderson,
Yes,
Heather Barker. Oh,
Abstain.
abstain. Althea Barton,
Yes.
Jill Grant,
Yes.
Diane Nolan, yes. Michelle Roberger.
Yes.
Yes. Pass.
Great. Next up are updates from the New Hampshire Department of Education. Is that going to be?
I don't have an update per se, but I would, I can let you know that, a few nominations have gone to the commissioner.
Yay.
A few.
Wonderful. Can you share if any of those are for the at-large position?
One,
Wonderful. Thank you. All right. Moving on to member reports. Legislators, do we have updates on, oh, sorry, yeah.
Did you, did anything happen with the technical advisory?
I haven't heard anything about, it's your, the concerns with what was it, and I wanna remember what I just said, I think maybe both are from organizations, but I'm not positive. I don't know the origination.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
I
you.
know there's more than, yes, and there's more than.
Yes.
Okay, and I, concerns with forward.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, Diane?
Is there anywhere on the agenda, I didn't, sorry if I didn't notice it, but about the board receiving the annual report yesterday?
Oh, so the board was sent the annual report. I was unable to attend. And the response from the commissioner's office was that they would forward any questions to either Ally or myself. I didn't receive any questions. Did you? Okay,
Yay.
so
Okay. so
they
we can
received
know
their report.
That it was done. Does that mean it's up on the website now
It's, yes,
soon?
Yeah.
Or
it's
is-
up on.
Okay.
Oh,
Awesome.
so yay,
Thank
good
you.
news.
And I'll make sure that I share that with the non-public school advisory council too, now that it's been
Thank
approved.
Good, wow, that's great.
Thank you.
Cranking out the work today.
Oh.
So now you have legislation.
So on to the legislative. I know Katie, you sent us a document. The document simply
Here it is.
updates
All of the SRs that were on the minutes from the November meeting with the current House bill numbers.
Should we be looking at it, the list in the agenda, or should we be looking at this?
And I just noticed we don't have staff. We had 2 full days of house sessions. This is my 5th day in a row in Concord that.
It's just like a
not
little
print well
window
into
into the.
And that the last bill is actually 1803.
18. Oh, yeah, there's an extra number in
Yeah.
there.
Other than that, nothing has changed from the last meetings. None of these are scheduled to my knowledge. And all bills are due out on March 5th, so you can expect them to be scheduled sometime between now and March 5th.
For committee.
They're
hearing.
due out of committee by March 5th.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I did not have time to review whether any of the pending in the long list that I gave were withdrawn, but do you know of anything that was?
I am
withdrawn?
not addressing that long list because they do not pertain to what we deal with here at HEAC.
Is that something that can be shared via email? I don't think, because I'm not there in person.
Which document are you referring to? The one
The
that-
legislation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Because
the
I'd like to
update
take a
of-
look at that. Thank you.
Thank you.
So
Michelle?
this is what you printed up
Those
as the
are
ones that
All
are.
of bills that
directly
pertain
affect-
directly to 193A
Okay,
in some way.
okay.
And most of them do not, but they might. Like, 1803
Yeah.
and what's the other one? Oh, 1452. Those two are not directly related. The other ones,
So,
I typed in the RSA where I thought they were directly affecting 193A.
so just there,
If you look at the minutes from November,
Mhm.
all of those were mentioned in the November minutes.
Yeah.
I just updated the House bill numbers from the LSR numbers.
Okay, I'm just wondering if there's a way for us to cross-reference so that Jill has it for her benefit.
We just emailed.
No, I know, there's a piece of information that's missing is the corresponding LSR number to the bills that are assigned now.
The title, if I'm not mistaken, from the November minutes, the title of the bill is listed.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's not really,
Okay, sorry, it's just I think it's just a something was lost in the formatting of that column. So, okay,
There's no rhyme or reason to.
You can-
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah,
This,
I know, I had to hand type my own spreadsheet
Oh, no.
for 80 bucks.
I love spreadsheets. I made a spreadsheet for the purpose of tracking attendance. Because
Okay.
keeping track of that is helpful. All right. So Jill, are you able to review that? Do you have any questions? Did you receive it? Sorry. Yeah. She's not on the screen. She's still doing that.
Yes, I've got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any questions from the document
Not-
that Katie?
Not
Okay,
so far.
Thank you.
So so all of these are coming through your committee?
No,
No.
No, they're in different committees depending on.
on my notes,
Yeah.
education funding is 1803
Mhm.
and transportation is 1452. The rest of them will be in education policy.
Okay.
And do you have any update regarding HB 1155 then? In your
I have
amendment?
updates.
HB what?
No updates.
1155, the one that
I don't think
has
it's-
submitted. Relative to the HEAC.
I don't think that discussing the content of the legislation right now is pertinent to the meeting.
Well, it's relevant to the home education community, so that's,
We discussed it the last time.
okay, so there have been no revisions since, that's the question.
There will be a public hearing with the revisions.
Okay, when will the revision be made available to the public? As a note to the home education
When the
community?
amendment comes out. The amendment isn't out yet.
So there's a pending amendment on that one?
No, there's no pending amendment at the moment.
No.
Okay,
All of these bills are always a work in progress.
Mhm.
They're submitted, they come out with multiple errors all the time. No bill, very few bills end up the same way they started.
I had one.
I had one too. I changed one number from 3 to 4. Other than that, it's
They're
really,
discussed and
it's
then.
it's a humongous process.
Mhm.
And your bill could be completely gutted and taken over
By something
by
else.
something else.
Yeah.
So there's none of this is definitive. It's just a starting point.
So me?
yep,
So actually, it's interesting because when I did look at these, I did see something as one of the roles of people from like the New Hampshire School Administrators Association is to support home education and make sure that families in school avoiding conflict and all the bad things or when all that stuff. So I did see something in there around informing schools when a student, and one of the rule changes was letting people know that a child's not at the school so that people aren't showing up. That's come up every year here, or the state knows, but the district, that it just seems such a messy thing that creates so much conflict. So I saw something in one of those two there that made me feel very appreciative that people are listening to what we've talked about here for several years, because it creates unnecessary conflict for school districts and families that don't need to exist. So having said that, I will give a quick update. I presented to the school administrators group, I sent this information to you guys right before the technical assistance, and I had talked to Allison and we had used some documents that had been made in previous years, back when EFA, there wasn't the Parent Bill of Rights. So I got some nice feedback from Katie. I got some nice feedback from the Department of Ed. Then I actually sent it back to the Department of Ed and say, because it was really for a specific training so that school administrators were not putting families in bad positions and they understood the different sets of rules for the different 4 pathways. That was the intention. What actually it's grown into is everybody started asking for, can I have that so we can use it or train people? It was great to get some feedback from Katie, and it was great to work with you, Allison, and then I let you guys know that some of the documents that we had made back in like 21, 22, 23 needed to be updated too, because those slides that I created were used from the documents that you and I had talked about briefly at some point that weren't made by the Department of Ed. They were made by some of the home education families to help families understand the pathways. So I've made those revisions, so I'll make it available again in case people want to use it, because it's been updated. I had added the technical language, but I hadn't gone back to a couple of the slides where the comparison was and changed what some of the rule changes that came with the parent Bill of Rights in relation to EFAs and participation in public schools. So I've adopted those and really appreciated the feedback, and so did our association and the superintendents, because the more clarity we have about this stuff and the less fuzziness, it just takes away places where conflict come or misinterpretations or misunderstandings. So I want to appreciate the help I've had from the different folks in HED, different organizations, and the legislature. So thank you. Okay.
Can I comment?
Yeah, sure.
I appreciated it because I was meeting with a group of home educators.
Yeah.
And they said that they wanted something like that, and I said, well, you don't have to recreate the wheel here.
Well, I'll fix it up and then you guys.
Really
Yes.
helpful, yes.
Yes, and then
So
you
thank
guys
you.
can share it with all your groups, because again, it looks at all 4 pathways, but really specifically those 2 where there's a lot of misunderstanding. And we've gotten the superintendents groups and school districts to really be differentiating using the words home educators and public homeschoolers, EFA pathways. So really trying to differentiate that. But again, some legislation, potentially I saw some in some of the legislation, some other language. So I do think folks in all the different parts of our ecosystem here are trying to right the ship in terms of that. So I appreciate everybody's part with that.
I think all of us could, or many of us could vouch for the fact that there's been a lot of community-based discussion in concern with especially budget issues and shortfalls that districts are finding and feeling, that to have that clearer instruction about how they can proceed and move forward.
Yeah.
I know one thing that I had raised in the discussion when you weren't here was it's unfortunate that the technical advisory didn't go the one step farther to advise direction as to how to find what to charge for the districts to charge the EFA families coming in. And that was something that Mr. O'Rourke had also shared a
So
wish or a want for. And we discussed the possibility of the districts even using the same format that they use for how they bill the district for equal access would be the same amount that they would use to bill for EFA families.
So I can respond a little bit to that, because that was one of the immediate concerns that superintendents had across the state, because some communities may choose not to bill at all. And some communities may choose to bill. And so they were really, there are some sample policies. So they left it to the school districts to come up with policy around that. So they're all in the process of doing that. So I think, I'm not so sure that it was a bad thing, because it helped those folks have open discussions across the state about what that would look like. What does that mean? People were really thoughtful about it, the superintendent's group. So that's still a discussion point, but people really appreciate it. That's why I actually did that presentation. And then the Parent Bill of Rights Advisory came out. So I don't think it's a bad thing, because again, not all school districts will choose to charge it, and it'll be interesting to see, but I don't expect people to be like gouging families.
No,
But I think it will be interesting for the public to see what it actually might cost per class for a course. For example, one of the big ones was like the technical center, kids attending the technical center, what a course there costs. And so that really makes people think about those things. But again, that they were really very open, problem-solving kinds of conversations. And again, the fact that it was left open that you can charge, you don't have to. Some districts will choose, it will be what people will want to do. So I think that leaving it open-ended was helpful.
So I've
Yeah.
been wondering, like, kind of about this from your side of things, because I've been talking to people who have home ed students using equal access and asking them, like, what information does the school ask of you in order to enroll as a home educator? Just kind of to figure out what kind of formality is needed and stuff. So if a student is a home educator, then the school gets equal access money for that portion of whatever they did participating at their public school, right?
I don't know, I'd have to actually check that. The difference is, the only real difference in terms of the kids is in the EFA pathway, there's a list that comes out from the state. That's all the districts have of who's an EFA family versus
Right.
somebody else. So if a parent enrolls, I don't think they've ever thought about, this was the
Check.
first time that some districts are now wrestling with what would it cost for, like, how do we figure out like elementary courses in middle and high school, different things.
But that
You
they
talked
did
about it.
address that
Yeah.
statutorily,
Yeah.
our first
First
year,
term, yeah.
and it needs to be broadened.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah, I think her question though is how is it currently determined for a homeschool, a
So-
home educating family?
a home educating family,
they just automatically
They
get,
just-
Right, but how
it's
does
not
the
even
school get-
discussed.
How does the
Right, but
school
the
get
school
They
reimbursed?
don't,
by-
Some
they don't.
adequacy.
They live in the community, you get their basic adequacy fund.
Right, so
can't.
that's what it is.
Right.
This,
So
because
then-
the school uses the SSAID to bill the
Well,
to build a state.
the state pulls the enrollment data once a year, right? And
Right.
establishes how much you're gonna get per pupil. It's just a basic thing. And I think we even heard here or somewhere, I don't know what meeting I was at. But it's based on like 1999, some long ago formula. And that is the formula that they use. So those are kids in the community who happen to live there. And the difference, again, now we're getting into the discussion of EFAs versus home education. Again, this is really helpful for parents to understand so they can make a really healthy, informed decision for their family. As a home education parent, it doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want when you do that. The reason in that other pathway, the EFA pathway, is you've chosen as your public education pathway, parental choice with the EFA to choose however you wish to use that money
Yeah.
in your child's education, even as a homeschooling family.
Mhm.
So in that scenario, you don't have the same rights that the home education family does because you've received your child's adequacy fund.
Already, right?
Yes,
So,
that's the difference.
so there's, two kids who
Yeah.
live next door to each other. One home educates
Mhm.
without funding
Yeah.
and one uses the EFA to home
Yeah.
educate. They both want to go to their
Mhm,
middle school for band.
mhm.
This one goes and doesn't pay anything, and the school does get some money because that student is attending there in, a portion of their day. Some portion of their adequacy fund.
Mr. O'Rourke
They-
did share that they
Yeah,
do and that
I'm gonna just
that they
double
bill
check. I'll
based
double check
on-
that for next time,
Okay.
but the
Yeah.
other
then the
child, they
other
can use
child
their EFA money.
Goes there and would not be able to get any money from the state from an adequacy fund. So,
They already got it.
right, so then
Right.
the school would have to say, you need to pay this much money out of your
That's
EFA.
potentially, yes, or they say it's up to the district. What they
Mhm.
have to do is establish a policy.
So why would other than just administrative work, why would a school not want to charge the EFA student? Like, why are you seeing administrators?
I'm not
saying,
even
like,
gonna
"Oh,
get
well,
into any kind of discussion about that. I'm
Yeah.
simply gonna follow the rules, which are as a school
Okay.
district. I'm not a school district at this point, but if I were a school district, I'm obligated to come up with a policy. It can't be that for your family, we're not gonna charge, but well, I don't know how I feel about Michelle's family, so we're gonna charge her. Oh, and you know what? No,
Right.
yeah, you can't do that. You have to have a policy. You're either charging or not charging, and you'll have to have a rationale and like in the
Right.
policy, how you establish that.
Yeah, and I think that's what
Yeah.
Mr. O'Rourke spoke to,
Yeah, I'm
that
sure,
they do
'cause he's been at
currently
the
have
meetings.
procedure to
We do.
perform an à la carte charge
Yes,
for
yeah.
those receiving equal access.
And a lot of districts talked about having similar ones or in regions having similar ones. So I don't think you're gonna see that in one town it's this and another town it's not that, right? Or even the CTE centers, some of the similar things. But again, it's about choosing a pathway and parents having the right to pick the
Right.
education they want for their kids. And if they take the EFA money, they need to understand that they may or may not have to pay à la carte
Right.
for anything that they participate in, even co-curriculars and extracurricular activities at their child's school. A
Yeah.
home education family has a very different set of rules.
Right.
So there's,
Yeah.
yeah,
I always-
194 and 193.
Up here.
I just wanted to thank you because I know you've worked on this for a long time.
Long
You've
time.
really been a good listener here and taken all that information back to your groups. And I want to thank Jim too, when he's here.
Yes,
It was a big thing and we've struggled for years with trying to clarify things and, so I really do appreciate the work you've done on that.
so I thank you, and I'll get that slideshow out so people can have it, and then you can do
Yeah.
whatever you want with it. It's yours to play with, make your own, choose a different theme, whatever you want.
Thank you. I think, in looking at the presentation that Heather did and the work that went into getting it, into a compiled manner speaks to the value and importance of the HEAC, and being able to sit at this table and have these discussions together, in one room, and also to, raise nuanced concerns and,
To be able to
be able to talk
Oh,
through
yeah,
these
no,
things.
no, yes.
To have
Yep.
somebody to bounce ideas off of, so just putting
Yep.
that out there.
I agree.
I see that, Jim is not here to give the school principal's report. I see that Jill needed to step away for 5 minutes, so.
And we're
she's
glad
back.
he's not, he is.
I know, he's got the flu.
She's back.
Oh, she's
want
back?
him here.
Is she back?
She was back too, but she went out for 2
Okay,
minutes.
Jill.
Oh, okay, sorry. So Jill is back. Jill, you, are next up for the non-public school advisory council report, if you have one.
Yeah, non-public school advisory council. I don't really have anything to share with home educators other than we're continuing we met for the first time. Oh my goodness, December, for the first time in a while. And we discussed legislation and a couple of other things. The minutes are on the website if you are interested in our conversation.
Thank you.
Great.
You're welcome. But I will share the annual report with them for HEAC at the next meeting.
Thank you. Okay, home education community reports. I guess in previous, it's been handled separately as association representation and then at-large community representation. In reviewing how we're listed on the website, it looks like Diane, Althea, and myself are listed as home education, and I can't tell if Becky is listed as home education or if she's listed as at-large, just the way that it's
I
listed.
don't think I'm at large because
Yeah,
I have this.
right.
Right, so I don't
Yeah.
think we have an at large.
Yeah, so I don't think any of them are at-large community. She just happens to have community written on her title of her,
Oh, I
the
see.
listing. So I just wanted to make that clarification. She is part of, an organization, and that's where she's sitting.
Right.
So if we can just go around the table. Becky, do you have a report?
I don't have anything to report.
Okay, Althea, do you have a report?
Yes, I have a Post-it which I have been sticking onto my my pad each month because it's been quite a number of months that I've held this and I'm eager to get it out. We had a parent who sent in their notification of intent to homeschool of intent to their school district. They received a letter of acknowledgement, but the school district enclosed a copy of 193A. But it was the 2012 version, 2022 update. So it's a request to pass that on
Oh, yeah.
in your communications.
And then NHASAP, so principals and, yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yep.
Diane, do you have a report for Catholic United?
No, we're real close to 4, so I'll
Yeah.
defer.
Okay, we have 7 minutes, so I didn't know if you have a report. I would like to hear it.
Nothing more.
Okay, thank you. I have a report from Christian Home Educators. First item is that there are several American Heritage Girls and Trail Life USA troops in the state. It's a growing community of families that are actively working to build the next generation of leaders and doers. Both organizations are made up of all volunteer leadership, and their function is in mentoring children in practical skills and growth in personal leadership from ages 5 to 18. For more information about joining or starting a troop, you can send email to ahg@maranathanh.org. And you can get practical information for how to either join a troop or start a troop. But that was something to share with the community. The second item is just that several members of our organization have brought concerns to me regarding the tone and nature of discussions this legislative session, where multiple members of the legislature have publicly rejected members of and simply in support of the 193A community. There's concern that work is not being accomplished in good faith and with good collaboration. Our membership is comprised of current 193A home educators, veteran home educators, EFA families that share our at-home community, and even other New Hampshire voters that are concerned with the support and protection of 193A home education. Also, we interact with, that also interact with our community, and they may or may not themselves be home educators, but they do share these same concerns. So I don't know if other organizations have been hearing feedback that way. I know I'm a member of other organizations that have also seen similar discussion and feedback, that there is concern. And that they are thankful that the HEAC is here and that we continue to monitor our situation. All right, with that, the next order is open for discussion. I don't know if there is anything anybody else would like to put on the table. In the floor. Okay, we don't have notice of anything for non-public session. Does anybody have anything that they would like to place in non-public session? You? New business is public comment. Hey, we're gonna start early. This is wonderful. If we could please ask in the comments on the Zoom, if there are any public comments, and are there any comments in the room? There are two signed in. Okay, I'll grab that.
For public comment, may I just make a comment before we begin?
Sure.
In the past, I am a Heather, maybe you remember, maybe you remember, Alfie, after that. We did timing, like we purposely had one person who set aside, I know at the last session, we had a public comment that got cut off because they didn't understand that it should be just 3 minutes or something similar. So if we, and also for documentation, we need to ask people to identify themselves and where they're from. And if there is going to be a limit, just recommending that perhaps we have a timekeeper who just gently gives the nudge.
Perfect. Yes, I have my timer ready. We did have in the agenda that individual comments may be limited to 3 minutes. That's what we'll start at. I know there are 2 signed in here. I don't know if nobody's responded yet, that they have public comment online.
I just
So
want to
yes,
say
Katie.
one thing that I'm noticing on Zoom.
Mhm.
It looks like there was just a direct message to Jill about the public comment and.
Oh, yes,
didn't-
it doesn't say to, it's not
It's
to.
easy to
everybody.
miss that.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
In the blue box, it says to
Yeah.
Jill Grant direct message.
Yeah.
That to everyone. There you go.
There.
Good catch.
Thank you.
Ask me how I know.
Maybe you've done it.
Michelle, perhaps it would be easier
does that
for
to
somebody
me.
else to be the timer instead of you taking all the responsibility.
Oh, sure. I was just thinking it would be easier for it to not be you because you would be
Oh,
recording.
I'm not suggesting. it be-
No, no, yeah, I wasn't gonna ask you to time people. That was all. I thought I'd volunteer, but yeah, Becky, if you want to do it, that would be great. Thank you.
Don't look, it'll stress you out, anyone who's
I won't,
talking.
yeah. Will it beep or?
No, it won't beep. I'll just
Okay,
let it
Becky, you'll
run.
just let us know if it's gone.
I need a little like ding ding.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I'll call Deb Sullivan for public comment.
Hi, my name is Deb Sullivan. I live in Goffstown, and I'm unfunded home educator. And I just want to make a brief comment about, I know that there are things coming up in the legislature. I'm not going to go into a specific bill. This isn't close for that exactly, but I want to say that privacy to me as a home educator, privacy and notification is important to me. And to have that option, and if there are efforts to supposedly deregulate, everybody likes the sound of deregulating, and we want all our to have as much freedom as possible and directing the education of our children. But I'm really hoping that deregulation doesn't turn into stripped away privacy as far as options of where we can notify. If it turns into, well, first, we only say that you only have to say if you want to use something from the state, not say equal access. But then what if that turns into you won't even have that option to have a paper trail of your private entity anymore, and then you're forced into notifying with the state, or you're going to run into trouble with say DCYF or truancy. And I'm hoping that that can be kept in mind.
Next, Amanda, we next signed in. My name is Amanda Whedon, and I just wanted to say you did a great job today because you just went charge ahead and got stuff done and moving ahead. And that is in the spirit of what I have to say today. One of my longest-standing and unique roles in the home education community is to do in-person info sessions. Usually in conjunction with the public library. These are opportunities to discuss RSA 193 home ed, as well as to share portfolio ideas, favorite curriculum options, give consultations in specific cases at no charge. Granite State Home Educators is the only organization in the state that has faithfully served the community in this way for years. I'm one name on an extremely short list who volunteers in this capacity. I've lugged my milk crates to a plethora of places. Truthfully, this is one of my favorite duties as a home ed advocate because I love to encourage parents in person. I have worried mothers burst into tears. Some have asked me for hugs afterwards. They regularly want to connect after the event. They want to know me and have my contact information. And I stay until every last parent leaves feeling confident. And sometimes they follow me to my van. And then I try to leave and they still want to talk to me. It's really quite lovely. I've been kicked out by amazing librarians in the evening after each session that I've done at the Somersworth Public Library, and they booked me for this coming session last fall. So I've driven quite far to other libraries across the state, and sometimes there's only 2 parents in attendance, and sometimes there's a whole bunch. But it's always worth my time, no matter what the turnout is. So I want to continue what I do best, and that's to comfort and connect with parents who need help. I share personal stories about my own journey. I set up a table that has popular curriculum options. I offer copies of my cheat sheet outline so that parents can listen without frantically having to write things down. They're able to take a card with our website QR code and to sign up for our monthly newsletter. If the home education law were to change in New Hampshire, I am directly and profoundly responsible for knowing it. I will be one of that handful of women who need to explain it to parents. I graciously field EFA questions by pointing to the managing organization, and I give legislative updates. Given the rocky history and the current situation, I would like to extend the invitation to Representatives Petronell and Dry to join me next week at my regularly scheduled session. Transparency and accountability are essential to the home ed community in the legislative process and in order to build rapport with the FLLs. This is essential for us. FFLs stands for Frontline Lifers. We are frontline lifers. So we have the motivation, we have the stick-to-itiveness, we are lifers in the home education pathway. And there are those of us who are lifers that are retired but not on the front lines. So there are frontline lifers, and this is a wonderful community of women that have been interacting on social media and have been treated poorly. So I would like to extend this invitation. This is a good faith gesture. In order to accomplish these goals collaboratively, we need to build rapport back. Parents are going to ask about the bill. I have a Facebook event that has been shared already, and the library staff markets this event for me. Representative Petronell is on Facebook and can find the event to read what it says. In the description, I brought a copy. It's a bad copy, but a copy nonetheless of exactly how I am marketing it and exactly what is said in the description for transparency and accountability. Michelle Rohrabacher will be there to give a legislative update. This is normal procedure. However, anyone on HEAC is welcome to attend. The update will include which bills to watch and at which stage it is in the process. Again, this is normal info session information.
This is a ready-made opportunity for representatives to build rapport. My invitation to representatives is conditional on the establishment of clear boundaries before the info session. I give you my word that I will be cooperative, gracious, and grounded in the avoidance of escalation. Basically, I'm inviting you to make an appearance and to be known in a positive light. I will introduce you, if you choose to attend, with that intention in mind. In the event of a larger than normal turnout, we may need to pivot to a larger area. I have no way of knowing how many people attend these info sessions. I've had anywhere from 6 people to over 20. There's no registration process, so I have no way to anticipate how many are coming to the meeting. And it can't turn into a detailed analysis of the bill or a legislative process due to time restraints, and I think that's a good thing. So I'm open to collaborating on an alternative arrangement in order to keep the home ed community up to date about HB 1268 amendments. And I really want to ask, I'm asking, let's take this small first step together towards reestablishing some measure of trust between us. The information for the info session, and I know you have lives, you're very busy. This is the season, I understand, but this is important for me to meet you in person, to be able to ask you and invite you to this. The information for the info session is here. It's at the Somersworth Public Library. Excuse me, 20 Somersworth, yep.
That's the
The
Dover.
other side.
Rochester, Dover.
That's the name.
Rochester, Dover. I understand.
I see Vermont
That
from my
other
living
big-
room. Yeah.
Even if there was someone closer, I know that there are representatives who are co-sponsors of the bill that are closer. Again, this is the discussion that I want to have moving forward. I'm losing my voice. I should stop talking. But here's the information. It's at 5:30.
What
It's
day?
important to note. This is a Wednesday. Okay, so it's Wednesday, January 21st. 25 Main Street, Somersworth Public Library at 5:30 p.m. So if you would like to look at anything that I've said or written, you are welcome to do that. I will leave it on the table. Thank you.
You did notice I'm not on Facebook, right?
Yes.
Or I don't answer.
Thank you.
Amanda, did you mean to leave your notes here?
I did. I wanted to
Okay.
make it available to anyone
Perfect.
who would like to look at it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Do we have any public comment from the Zoom?
Don't see, I have made it available to everyone and I don't see.
Perfect. I don't think there is any other
Next meeting.
thing. Yep, well, where's my fun agenda? Here it is. Look at it.
February
Back at the top. There we go.
Yeah.
Announcement of the next scheduled meeting.
March 13th.
We have a placeholder for February 13th if needed. I don't know that it is needed, other than at that time, there could be pending legislation that is pertinent that our member communities might have concerns for. So I would like to still leave it as a placeholder at this time.
If there's pending legislation that member communities can contact the legislators directly.
No,
I
I think
actually
that's been
can't attend
scheduled.
February 13th.
Okay.
I'm just letting you guys know.
Fine.
And that's what the hearing will be for.
Right, I'm saying if hearings have been scheduled and then members have reports based on hearings that happen between now and February 13th.
Is that the role of HEAC to report on?
I don't know, but I'm just gonna say right up front that I really want us to try to stick to the every other month thing. I'm fine with having the placeholder if we need it. But we needed it for things like finishing a report or something. I'm just saying, I cannot attend a meeting and I don't want that held against me in the attendance.
Definitely not.
Valentine's Day weekend.
No, I'm not,
Always seem to
I'm
fall
gonna be
that way.
coming back from a 4-day meeting somewhere
Yeah.
else.
And that's fine. I just have it in the agenda as that is the placeholder meeting, so that there isn't a question
So
that
how will
we
you
didn't
handle
announce it as a placeholder.
You're gonna send out a message deciding,
I can send out a message requesting attendance for the placeholder meeting, and if nobody wants to attend, then everybody says that they're not coming, and then it's recorded as not having a quorum and we don't meet. That's fine too.
Well, what's the work that needs to be done?
exactly.
That's the question.
Right.
Right, what do we?
None right now.
So,
None at the moment,
Right.
which is why I'm saying to leave it as a placeholder, not that we are scheduling a meeting. Is that,
so our next regular.
exactly, our next scheduled meeting is March 13th.
Okay, so we make a motion to close. May I make a motion to close? Yes,
Diane moves to close the meeting. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
4:09. Okay.
March. Let me make sure.
Rebecca Anderson,
I already got it. Oh my God.
Yes.
I'll be-
Heather Barker,
Yes.
Althea Barton,
Yes.
Jill Grant,
Yes.
and Ellen, yes, Michelle Barker.
Yes.
All set.
Thank you. Meeting adjourned.
Amanda, waiting just one question. I didn't hear you identify where you were from. How would you like that labeled today?
Oh, it's in the sign-in sheet as Rochester.
Super.
Perfect.